you're really competent.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, you can make materials fast. You're great at collecting information. I can't believe that an elite like you has been sent here.
No one has evaluated me like that. I told her how I came here.
Okay.
It's true that the guys there are competent. It can't be helped.
That's not true. Don't be servile like that. Be more confident.
But...
Things started working out more efficiently after you came here. You don't know that, right? I'm dealing with more clients because the materials you make are great. I haven't produced results yet, but I will. What's funny?
I'm happy that you get upset and give me a compliment. So, there's someone who acknowledges me.
You deserve it. Oda-san, let's prove your previous co-workers wrong. I know you can do it.
Yeah, I'll make them regret kicking me out.
That's the spirit.
I started working even harder. The branch's performance started increasing. My co-workers here acknowledge me now. Oda-san, I know you're busy, but could you find an apartment for this client? Leave it to me. Thanks a lot.
Alright.
Oda-san, could you help me out? Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Everyone relies on you a lot. Aren't you a bit tired?
I am, but I find work engaging now. They really need me. They are different from the guys in the head office. I feel fulfilled.
That's good. But make sure to not push yourself too hard. We need you here.
I will.
I can help you out.
Thanks, but I'm good. I'll talk to you when I need you.
Okay? We'll work overtime then.
I hope we won't. One day, a month after I came here... Oda-kun, do you have a second? Yeah. Actually, someone from the head office has visited you. Could you see her? Okay. Thanks. She's in the reception room. Who is it? I wasn't close to anyone there.
What's going on?
I was told that someone from the head office is visiting me. I'll go to the reception room. I went to the reception room feeling uneasy. Excuse me, manager? Of all people, it's her.
It's been a while. You look great.
Thanks. So, what is it about? I don't think you came over to say hello to me.
You're right. Let me get to the point. I want you back to the head office right now.
Huh? What she said filled my head with a lot of questions.
Oh, look,
What the
there's
hell
a
is she
hole in the
talking
plastic
about?
bag here.
Why? It's been a month since I came here.
And this is one of those plastic
Things
bags
haven't
that you
been
really
working out
shouldn't
ever
be
since you
eating out of
left.
because there's
You
little
were the one who
copper
always prepared
fills in it.
materials for us.
So you shouldn't
We
eat that
didn't know
one.
that until you left. Now we know how competent you are. Please, come back to us.
But it's too late.
You don't have a reason to stay here. You can come back to the head office. It's beneficial to you. Come on.
You know,
You mistreated him the whole time. How can you say that?
Ito-san!
I wasn't gonna butt in, but the performance went down, so you want him back? Did you ever consider how he felt to be relocated all of a sudden? You're unbelievably selfish. Who the
Yeah.
hell are you? It's none of your business.
Tell her ass.
I am doing
The
this
fuck?
for him. Then, why did you relocate him here? Jeez, I need to tell you this. I've always been in love with you, Oda-kun.
What? You've been...
You were always hardworking. I love you for that. But you
Wow.
were incompetent.
I love you so
wanted
much,
to
I'm
be
gonna
a man
move you
who'd
to the
suit
country.
me.
So fuck that
That's
off.
for us.
So dumb.
I relocated
That's just so
you
dumb.
here because I wanted you to be
I'll be
as
back though. I gotta go
competent as
bathroom,
me.
everyone.
I was gonna let you come back after you
And I can't even bring that
accumulated
along
some
because I don't
achievements.
have the wireless
And
range
you did
anymore on.
that for him?
Be right
yeah.
back.
I understood what you said, but I'm sure you never did that for him. You did everything for yourself. If you wanted him to be competent, you should have trained him yourself. If you were in love with them, you should have told him. Your job title isn't an issue. I'd tell him my feelings if I were you.
I understand what you said.
Oda-kun.
I must reject you. And I won't go back to the head office.
Oh, no. You're kidding, right? Did you even listen to me?
I did. Maybe you were considerate of me, but to me, you only seem to prioritize yourself. And you know that. I have great coworkers here. I want to work with them.
Oh. Are we done? Okay, you should go. We have a lot to do. Ugh. You'll regret this. I don't want you back anymore. You want me to go? Yeah, I will. What a woman.
Yeah,
Okay, it's done. Let's get back to work.
yeah. Sometime after, the performance of the head office became even worse. The manager was relocated to a branch in the countryside to take responsibility. The head office now has got a new manager. They're trying to recover its performance. On the other hand, we couldn't have had this get-together if it weren't for you. Thanks, Oda-san. I'm flattered. I'm just saying the truth. We would never have gotten the company award without you. We got the best sales achievements in the company's history. Yeah.
He's right. We wouldn't have been here without you.
Everyone here knows it's you. Thanks a lot. Guys, all of them acknowledge me, unlike my previous co-workers. It makes me the happiest man ever. Staying here is the right choice. I'll work even harder. By the way, aren't you seeing someone? I'm curious. No, I'm single. I wish I had a girlfriend. I'll introduce you to my daughter if you want. She's a 20-year-old.
He doesn't want to.
Ito-san? What's going on?
If you want a girlfriend, how about me?
Oh, she means...
Can I run for your girlfriend?
Seems like I don't need to introduce him to my daughter. So, Oda-san, what's your answer? You two will make a great couple. Yeah. I want you to be my girlfriend.
Those who support others like Ito-san are wonderful. I think I'd feel better if I had someone like her when I felt uneasy. Do you have a friend like her? Feel free to leave a comment.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. What the fuck? Yeah, sure, that's fine. Okay, this is now back to normal. I can see the chat. Alrighty then. Let's continue on. So, other important thing, I guess we should get it over with and look at the whole Trump being indicted thing. So, am I surprised? To be honest, yes. It's one of those things that, like, there is so much stuff they could get against him, though, that the fact that what it is financing issues against a blackmail bribe, not a blackmail bribe, what the fuck do they call it legally now? It's basically just a hush money. Hush money is what I'm looking for. Which is fucking stupid. Like that. Of all the things this guy has done, this is what you're gonna get him on? This is gonna stick about as well as fucking, like, you know, water on a plant. Like, this is just the dumbest thing to get him with. You might as well charge him for being fat at McDonald's for all the fucking matters. I mean, the guy has literal fucking nuclear secrets he's trying to sell to other countries, and you're gonna get him on this, of all things? There's other crimes far more fucking higher up at this point that I think you should be a little more concerned with. But hey, legally speaking, I guess what do I fucking know? This is America after all. We're basically a bunch of clowns led by a bunch of clowns, acting like a bunch of clowns for a bunch of clowns.
My turn, and
Jeez, this is so annoying.
See what's going on in LinkedIn. Looks like absolutely nothing is going on in LinkedIn. Okay, I don't actually mind the whole removable patches like this. This is kind of a cool technology. I mean, it's a pretty good idea for what it's worth. I like it. Maybe it's just me. I like it. I like that kind of making shit easier in the data center. I don't really have. I mean, obviously, I work from home. I don't need to sit in a data center. I don't even think I've had to look at an actual data center, like physically, in 4, 5 years now. Although stuff like this, boy, this would because this isn't just about like short term keeping things in line. If you have to repatch or redo an entire panel, you don't need to resize cables. You don't need to just leave them floating there, hoping for the best, or maybe the next network guy will come by and fix it. You know, not that any networking guys out there would ever fucking do that, right, guys? Right? Yeah. Sorry, I was like a huge thing with Ashley Furniture as the network admins would always just leave the fucking cables a mess and just like, someone else will get it right. I'm just a network admin. What am I supposed to do? I wouldn't actually fix the cables or line them up as a network admin in the networking closet.
Why do I have to do this?
it's because it's our turn today. Sumika Koshima, she's my partner today. You need to sweep the corners too. You have to do it properly.
Who are you? You sound like my mom.
And you need to squeeze the cloth hard, or the drips will...
Shut up. Stop talking to me.
She has a malicious tongue, hates people, and is a loner. She doesn't belong to any group and she doesn't always hang out with friends.
Oh, she doesn't belong to a group.
She's pretty and has a good figure. So it's rumored that she has lots of secret fans.
Jeez. I would have gone home if it wasn't for you. I'm doing this just because you're with me.
Would have
But you
gone
do
home if it
so
wasn't for
much.
you.
You're so annoying.
The fuck?
She seems to be in love with me. What? Are you happy that you get to clean up with me?
I didn't say that. Your ears must be rotten.
She doesn't know that I know her feelings, and she's always like this. But...
I say, if
Hey,
anything,
Yuka.
in these, the only one thing I could suggest.
Sumika-chan, she's staring
I'm
at
actually,
you for a
I don't know.
long
I was
time.
gonna say something, and my
I
brain
know.
just like
She
it immediately
likes
evacuated
you.
my brain as I was saying it.
It's so
Just
obvious that
cool.
she's in love with me that everyone around her knows. I
Fucking
know.
hate that.
Did you know? On the day when you got late because the teacher asked you to come? Huh?
Well, you know, I'm sorry. I cannot get into this right now. It's just not the brain set for that particular story and mood. Let's about TCP MSSS. So that's actually, I don't know what that is. So the TCP is a transfer protocol. I don't know what MSS is though. What is MSS? I don't know. Fine, I'll look at it. Fuck. There's no shortage of TCP books, lectures, documents that read TCP RFCs, right? Yeah.
Good day, folks. It's Tony Fortunato from the technology firm. I'm going to make quick work of this. We had a quiz the other week. I'll put the link in here if you want to take it. It's just 2 questions. It's just to keep you sharp, see what you know, what you don't know, what we can work on, that kind of stuff. And one of the questions revolved around MSS. And the question was basically if you had a TCP three-way handshake and you had 2 different MSSs, would the connection fail? And a lot of people got that one incorrect. So I thought, you know what? I'll quickly cover this. It doesn't take much.
What's
All
an
you need to do is
MSS?
start
I don't know.
Wireshark,
This
get
is
a trace of anything. And if you're especially on a VPN, a PPT, PPP link, any of those types of configs, you're going to have less than optimal MSS size. We'll talk about that in a moment. And you can capture your own packets. But I'll show you what I got here. So here's the first one. This is me connecting to something on the internet using these port numbers, and that's my SYN, and there's the SYN ACK. And we know that because obviously these port numbers are the same back and forth. Well, here's the MSS, 1460. That means 1,460 bytes. So think of these as advertisements or advertisements, depending how you want to pronounce it. And basically you're saying, hey, this is what I can handle. I can handle 1,460 bytes. Now this guy is on the end of a link that has a limited maximum segment size. It's 1452. So now the question is, would this work? Of course it'll work. And what's going to happen is you're just going to use the lower of the 2 values. So if you pay attention to the MSS, this will be reflected in the payload value in the TCP packet. So all you need to do is find a TCP packet larger than 1452, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So this one is 54 bytes. You can skip that one. That's 905. We can skip that one. And this is 1506. Okay? If we look there on the right, you'll see the length is 1452, and it matches 1452. See that? So it works. It's obviously not going to be 1460.
so
but
those
it
2 would
still
get
works.
balanced though.
Quick and easy. Hope that helped. Have a good day. Bye for now.
Interesting. So it'll use the lesser of the 2 denominators. I mean, that just makes sense. That is what I would have guessed, but yeah, I had no idea. That was a whole new topic. That's part of one of those things I usually guess and hope for the best outcome. I mean, you know, it's usually hope for the best. That's what.
March 15th, otherwise known as the Ides of March. To celebrate, I'll be getting stabbed 23 times at the end of this video. OpenAI has officially announced the sequel to GPT-3, GPT-360. No, wait, Series X, no, sorry, GPT-4, which they claim is more powerful, more creative.
He's not wrong for making fun of Microsoft on that one. He really isn't. I actually I'm down for that one. That was pretty good, Linus.
And more reliable. It can also
I'm sorry, Microsoft. You guys kind of walk yourselves into that corner. Let's just name this the Xbox 360, huh? Then the Xbox X, the Xbox One X, huh? No, it's the Xbox Series X. What? Yeah, that's someone at Microsoft was paid to come up with that naming scheme, and they were probably paid more each year than I am, and it's just really fucking depressing to see that, because really, guys, everyone in tech has been bitching about this stupid naming conventions things that these companies are just notorious for. Like, look, Intel, you might make some of the best CPUs in the world, same with AMD, but your naming schemes are fucking terrible. AMD's, look, monicumly better, but still pretty shit, let's be honest with you. I really do feel like CPUs could have better naming schemes. I mean, it's neither here nor there, but
also pass professional benchmarks like the LSAT and bar exam within the 88th percentile or higher, meaning that it's better than ever at fulfilling parents' dreams. Early experimenters have managed to use GPT-4 to quickly recreate the classic game Pong and to turn a simple sketch on a napkin into a functioning website.
I always have trouble with that.
The new model is also supposedly less prone to hallucination, which is interesting because shortly after it was unveiled, Microsoft announced that the new Bing has apparently been running on GPT-4 the whole time.
Yeah, right. That's one of those things. Like, so it says it's been using this the whole time, but with all of those previous hallucination issues, what the fuck happened? What was going on there? Like, I genuinely am curious about the back end of that, because there was definitely something busted there. Like, they did not have the settings like fully marked down on that. I wonder if GPT-4 knows what the hard R means. Goddamn, Linus, just fucking that poor man. Look, I can't even blame him. I messed up that same exact thing. Someone asked me once, like, "Oh, have you ever used the hard R?" And I was like, "Well, of course." When I was younger and like, you know, growing up, the using slurs in the 90s was a huge thing. Like that is, and the thing is, most of us we're not against people. It was just what you said, like, you know, "Oh, that's stupid." Well, you would use that in the same terminology and way as you would just simply say that's stupid. It was just a way of saying it. Was it correct or right? No, of course not. It was a complete fucking douchebaggery 90s bullshit. I know that now because I'm, you know, older and more educated. Back then, I sure as shit didn't know that. I was just a dumb little kid. Like, do I wish I could go back and like slap myself? Well, hell yeah. Oh, shit. Man, if I could go back and talk to myself, oh man, I would just, there'd be a lot of just slapping the hell out of me, as well as remember this, remember this, remember this. Don't do this. You're stupid. Don't do this. You're stupid. Remember this, remember this, remember this. Like, oh man, if I could talk to my younger self. I'm sure a lot of people would be like that though. Or there's tons of stuff people have done when they were younger that is just pure cringe.
Bing, while
Like how I've always wanted to talk to Cliff Blazinski and some of the other guys at the top of the Unreal 4 and Unreal Engine stuff. When I was a young kid, I opened up and played original Unreal, like the very, very first Unreal Engine 1. Okay, look, I had a huge thick book like this thick of how to use, open, and run and play with Unreal Engine. They purposely openly gave this stuff out because they wanted people to use their tools. Well, me being the smart genius kid I was back then, I kept emailing this guy from my personal email address in some hodunk town in Wisconsin to let him know that I had an ultra fast 56K modem and I was more than happy to host servers for him. I swear, if that man does not have that fucking email like on his wall, I don't know what he's doing with himself. Dude, that should definitely just be posted proudly on the wall. Like, this is what some kid wrote to us, being so happy, thinking he just had this shit because his dad just bought him a new Dell. Oh man, so naive back then. It was just lovely and gorgeous.
while certainly powerful and creative, is not necessarily what most people would describe as reliable and non-hallucinogenic, but hey, it's from Microsoft, so what do you expect? But this hasn't dampened Microsoft's confidence. They apparently think the model is so good that it won't need humans to help it figure out ethics, because the company
You know, this is one of those problems too. Like, you don't remove your ethics teams unless you're going to be doing something unethical. I will say this again. You do not remove your ethics team unless you purposely intend to do something unethical. Okay, the fact that these the fact that Google had to remove "We're here to do no evil" right off of their fucking thing tells you something right there. And it's a shame that like people these days are so desperate that they're incapable of standing up against this kind of thing. It is a fucking shame. Let's see, what else was I gonna do?
Eliminated their entire ethics and society team from their Office of Responsible AI, which I assume means that they have solved all the ethical problems related to AI, and it's going to be smooth sailing from here on out. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
We got an AI for that.
Ever since Meta's open source GPT-3 level large language model, Llama, had its training data leaked last month, developers have been figuring out new and innovative ways to run it on just about everything. First on a Mac, then on Windows, then on a Pixel 6, and even a Raspberry Pi. Just like what you would do with real llamas, right? Giddy up.
What? I just want to run my GPT on a fucking Raspberry Pi. Like, I don't know. I'm just always curious about people that just get that bug, and I'm like, oh, look, this GPT thing, I could run this. I could run this on a Raspberry Pi. Let me do that. What? How boring? Like, how is this like your default thing? Like, I don't know. I guess like different people have their different like niches and stuff and things they love to do. That's just like one of those things. Like, I'm like sitting here like this llama right here. Like, fucking what? You what, mate?
One of the key strengths of Llama is that it was designed to run with a single GPU. And while it may chug like a cement smoothie on something like a Raspberry Pi, it does successfully, well, maybe not run, but walk anyway.
Like a llama.
Now, to be clear, this is still Meta's IP, and its terms of service do still apply. But sooner rather than later, we're going to see the first hyper-individualized pocket AI, which is great news because I've been looking for a way to make using a graphing calculator far more interesting.
Now it can
and
graph poems.
insulting. Back when Windows 11 launched, users rioted when they discovered that the new streamlined taskbar had lost much of the functionality that it enjoyed back with Windows 10. It can't move to the top or the side of the screen. Separate iterations of the same program would stack and couldn't be separated, like those Lego bricks that my daughter glued together. This has popularized mods intending to reinstate that functionality. However, early previews into the newest version of Windows 11 seem to indicate that Microsoft will be giving us one of those little orange tools for our yelling.
Legos.
Oh, finally, the Windows is improving Windows by giving back functionality that was originally built in but then removed by some... I guess I can't really make an attack on a person here, but just by a decision by someone that clearly should not have made that decision. We'll go with that.
Spudgy thing.
And we could see a return of the never combine option. Nice. While they're at it, by the way, they might want to fix
I actually like Never Combine. I've always used that.
their VBS
I like to keep my shit separate.
There was concern at launch that Windows 11's VBS and HVCI defaults might affect performance, and they do. Benchmarks show that default Windows VBS can actually slow down games as much as 10%, even on top-end graphics cards, thanks to Microsoft's insistence on improving things by making them worse first.
Well, what else are you gonna do?
Hey, now it's time for Buttquacks, brought to you by Vessi, the footwear company that aims to change the way that you think about rain. I mean, why should a little bit of precipitation ruin your plans? Vessi claims their shoes are 100% waterproof, so throw a pair of them on and keep your day going. Stuck in your head? Go out for...
You know, a lot of those hydrophobic materials are made out of special chemicals that do not actually biodegrade and are extremely hazardous to your health and to the health of things around you. I wonder if they include any of that on there. I'm actually curious as to what Vessi's using for its for its hydrophobic properties.
For a walk? What does that have to do with shoes? Stuck in your feet. Go out for a walk, and your feet will be nice and dry and warm.
Okay.
Or on a hot day, they'll be cool. Why worry about the weather? Vessi's got you covered.
Also, for some odd reason, it feels like my stomach's just being repeatedly punched, so I'm gonna go bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Ooh, tummy. I'll bring my iPad and I will keep
Covered.
playing
Oh,
this.
that's good.
Dymatex technology keeps your feet dry. Save 15% on your next purchase with offer code TechLinked. TechLinked. Vessi.com/TechLinked. Friends, Romans, tech enthusiasts, lend me your ears. I come to say the buck-quacks, not to praise them. What
It's
on
a
earth
quote.
is
It's a
happening?
quote, Linus.
Google has launched an API for its own LLM, Palm, as well as MakerSuite, a browser app for developers that leaves all the intensive computation to Google's cloud servers and lets you focus on presumably makering? Google is also expanding generative AI support in Vertex, a platform that helps businesses train and launch machine learning models. Anthropic, a Google-backed company founded by former OpenAI employees, has launched its own chatbot, Claude. Is this a new segment we do that's just like this week in machine learning and AI?
I mean, everything's AI
Everything
right
was AI.
Uh-huh. There's something, there's a whole bunch of them, Ulysses, Archibald, etc. Something is something, something. Meta is firing another 10,000 employees, roughly 13% of its global workforce, as part of its year of efficiency. You know, I haven't heard of that one. You got the year of the rabbit, the year of the year of efficiency. Isn't that every year in China, Andy? That is some tone-deaf branding for the thousands of working professionals and their families who have lost their jobs. I bet they workshopped that for a while. We had an earlier wave of 11,000 efficiencies 4 months ago, meaning that Meta employees have been decimated twice. And that's in the original meaning of the word, meaning reduced by around a tenth. Yeah, I actually had to look that up because I didn't realize that you would decimate your own army, not the opponent. It was like a punishment, presumably for not having sex. Microsoft has announced yet another deal extending Call of Duty to another platform. This time, cloud gaming powerhouse Boosteroid, which you have almost certainly never heard of. So then I'll be the one to tell you that Boosteroid is the largest indie cloud gaming service, currently with a reported user base of around 4 million.
So we don't have
Really?
to be rude, Linus.
Okay, this is all part of Microsoft's campaign to convince regulators to let it acquire Activision Blizzard. Pretty, please. And I suppose after granting access to COD to both Nintendo and Nvidia, and having Sony turn it down, Microsoft is now really scraping the bottom of the barrel here, looking for another major gaming platform to offer the franchise to. I can't wait to see Modern Warfare running simultaneously on PC, Xbox, Switch, and Samsung Smart Fridge.
That's really gonna make Sony jealous.
We are truly on the best timeline. Cybercrime ring Emotet is back again and back to its old tricks of using botnets to spam your email, pretending to be a response from a known contact using your actual name. They've been active on and off since 2014, going on hiatus for extended periods, presumably because some of their members were serving time.
It got sleepy.
It's sleepy. Okay, got it. Only to rise again with new techniques to evade security and cause trouble. They're like cicadas, but with malware. This time, they were spotted sending a malicious image macro embedded in an attached 500 megabyte Word document, which is way above the file size limit of many security scans. But I guess not everybody scans. And the file contained large excerpts, is that the word? Excerpts from Herman Melville's Moby Dick, which is a pretty big book, and it also had macros. Wow, good job. SpaceX is getting ready to test its new Starship in the next month, which founder Elon Musk gives a 50-50 chance of success. This is a quote. "I'm not saying it will get to orbit, but I am guaranteeing excitement." While this doesn't exactly inspire confidence, it will certainly incentivize people to tune into the presumably available live stream of the launch, whether it's to see it make it into orbit or see it make it into oblivion. They're both options.
The game.
The fault, dear viewers, is not in our tech news, but in ourselves. Return on Friday for more Tech Linked or face trial for crimes against Rome. That's right, you or one of your 9 friends could die.
Every week.
Every week. Unless you fight better.
right. Sorry for taking my time there. My stomach. Not happy. All right, Nero-sama, what are you doing?
You know that feeling when you're watching an anime and just feel the urge to cosplay as the character?
Yeah,
Well,
actually.
last time that feeling hit me was when I watched Prison School and I had to dress up as the main character.
Huh?
No. Don't do it, guys, it's dangerous. I know you're all thinking it, but I'm not going to say it. Looks around nervously. When will I be doing a sober stream? I might do a sober stream in the near future.
What? I love it. This AI.
This interactive Bing chat.
The last ChatGPT voice assistant was handy, but check out this new one.
Okay, Bing.
What can I help you with?
When was Midjourney V5 released to the public?
Midjourney V5 was released on March 15, 2023. Is there anything else you would like to know about it?
GPT.
What can I help you with?
Write a diss song about how my new Python program is superior to my old Python program.
It's got the power my old program's outdated. It's a coward.
Whoa, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the knife.
I got a ton of great ideas to improve upon our voice assistant. My favorite idea was to add ability to prompt Bing. Bing AI, unlike any of the OpenAI APIs, has access to current data by searching the web for information that ChatGPT is not trained on. Well, here's the problem. Bing AI does not have a publicly accessible API for us to use in Python programs.
Have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Unless we or someone else creates an API for Bing, we are confined to that piece of shit interface we all know and hate. So I went to where every developer should look for free open-sourced programming tools, GitHub. GitHub has this project by a bunch of amazing Python developers that is an open-source reverse-engineered Bing API. Now that I know it is possible, how do we get started? First, start by installing Python onto your computer if you have not already. We will want version 3.10, since OpenAI Whisper still doesn't support Python 3.11. We then need to get beta access to Bing AI. Once we can use Bing AI as intended through the browser on our computer, we just need to install the GitHub project from earlier. Let's do that by typing this pip command into our computer's terminal. Pip is a package managing software for Python that allows us to quickly install Python libraries. Now let's get Edge GPT set up as explained in their GitHub README document. As you can see, we need to install a browser extension called Cookie Editor. It says Chrome or Firefox, but I can only access Bing through Edge, so I will get the extension for Edge. I will use the export button to copy the cookies file. Within my code editor, which is VS Code today, I have an empty folder where I will create the cookies.json file and paste the file we copied from our browser and save this file. Now it looks like I'm ready to create a Python file to begin testing this Edge GPT API. I will call it main.py. Now I can follow the developer demo instructions. It looks like we will need to load the JSON file we created. So I will copy the reference code below and then specify the cookie's file path as they described. After that, I will hit save and let's test it out. As you can see, it prints out an entire Python dictionary variable with a bunch of data we don't need for a voice assistant. So I removed the print statement and added this code block from line 6 to 11. The program will now take our prompt input in terminal, then print the cleaned up response from Bing. Now we have the response, but it has these bracketed numbers that serve as links when using the Bing website. This will just have our program reading random numbers that aren't relevant for voice interaction. So I imported the RE aka regex library. Then using this line of code, we can remove the unwanted links in our text response. Great, now we have the Bing AI API functioning perfectly for our application. Let's make the program run on a loop so that it keeps answering our question until we quit the program manually. In Python, this can be...
I have no idea how to code.
Done by wrapping the code in a while true loop. It will return a clean text response from the Edge GPT API now. Next, I want to make the program take voice input with a wake word. I will be using OpenAI Whisper locally for transcribing audio to text. To do so, I need to install Whisper on my machine. Then I will upgrade Whisper to the latest version. Finally, I will install FFmpeg using the brew command as specified for my operating system. I will also be using the speech recognition library for recording microphone input, since Whisper does not have that feature built in. So, let's install that. I need to import the Whisper and speech recognition libraries. Then set up the recognizer object and create a wake word variable, so that it is easy for you guys to change to a wake word of your choice later. Next, I will write this function on lines 11 to 15 that will be able to check if a voice input contains our wake word. I then wrote this block of code inside our main function on line 20 through 41 to start our program recording from the microphone. Transcribe the voice input with Whisper and check if a wake word was spoken. If the wake word was spoken, the Python program will continue. Alright, so this is what the program should look like so far if you have been following along. At this point, we need our program to have text-to-speech capability so that it is 100% voice interactive. Instead of using PyTTSX3 for local text-to-speech like the last tutorial, I want to use an API that gives us a way higher quality voice from our program. I will be using AWS Polyneural Engine to create a realistic text-to-speech voice. To do so, I need to install and import the BOTO3 library for accessing AWS services, as well as the PyDub library for playing the MP3 file that AWS will send us. Let's write a function to create our text-to-speech using Poly. I will be using the voice called Sally. There are many voices available from AWS Poly. By setting up a free AWS account, I can play with Poly in the browser to find the voice that works best for me. They even have a ton of language-specific voices for non-English application. Make sure you select the neural voices, as that is what will give us the best quality voice and the engine specified in the code too. Let's import the BOTO3 and PyDub library. I also need to import playback from PyDub. I now need a short function for playing the speech file with PyDub. Now I just need to call on these two functions.
Wow. Like, obviously from a coder's aspect, like, this is probably easy as shit. Like, just from my aspect, though, this is like literal wizardry.
To make our program speak our responses with a realistic text-to-speech voice. I will do so on lines 63 and 64 for our program to verbally request our prompt after it has successfully heard our wake word. Then again on 97 and 98 to speak our response from Bing AI. That was a lot of code. Let's test it to make sure I got it all working.
Okay, Bing.
What can I help you with?
How cheap can I fly from Los Angeles to New York next week?
Sure, I can help you find some cheap flights from Los Angeles to New York next week. According to my search results, the cheapest one-way flight is $59.
Perfect. I now have a Python voice assistant that can access Bing and give me intelligent answers to recent events and news. Well, you may have noticed I prompted the ChatGPT API in the intro as well. I want to be able to use Bing for questions that need to search the internet to be answered. And when I want a faster response with the better creativity from ChatGPT, I can prompt the ChatGPT API. Since I already have a fully functioning voice assistant, all I need to do is set up a second wake word so the program knows which API I want to prompt. Let's write these lines in the getWakeWord function we made earlier to do that. Then I can install and import OpenAI. Now I will initialize the API by passing in my API key. To get a free API key with a free allowance of prompts from OpenAI, sign up and create one on OpenAI's website. Then copy your API key and paste it inside the quotes. Once we have done that, we will write this else statement containing a code block to connect to the GPT 3.5 API and get a response to our voice prompt. Now we have a complete voice assistant that can prompt Bing when we say Bing and ChatGPT when we say GPT. If you want to compare your code, I have included a link in the description to a GitHub repo. I will see you in the next video.
Wow. I know like AI is definitely the way to go in coding, but it still just boggles my mind because I just do not understand this. I think I will take a large part of today while I'm doing my job at work to try to figure this out on my work PC. Because there has to be good uses for this. I know there's going to be good uses for this. Anyway, guys, it is about that time of the day, 8:04. I got to get off in 5 minutes anyway, so I'm going to cut it